You can't stay open to input and correction if you're defensive. And it's a big one that blocks your progress, your ability to progress if you're not willing to stay open and admit that you don't know everything, because we don't ever know everything, right?
Different aspects to that. It's an interesting subject. I mean, I think it was by Shunryo Suzuki, where I think he was saying something like, in the mind of the experts, there are few possibilities of something like that, and in the beginner's mind there are many possibilities, because of course when you're an expert you think you know how things work, right? And that can be an obstacle that can close you off to new observations, or you observe something, maybe the horse responds in a way that he's not supposed to, and then you say, well, that can't be, he's not supposed to do that because the book says ABC, whatever. If I do this, the horse does that, but he's not doing that. And then people don't necessarily think maybe the theory is wrong, maybe the book is wrong, or they're not thinking, well, maybe I'm missing something, maybe there's more at work here than I realized. And instead, then traditionally they would always say, well, the horse is disobedient, is not respecting the age, is not taking you seriously. And if you broaden your horizon and you adopt that beginner's mind, where you realize, well, I don't know everything, and the book authors didn't know everything, and the horse and the rider are a very complex system with I don't know how many hundreds of variables. I can only ever see a handful of variables as they're in action, as they're interacting with each other. So maybe there is something going on that I haven't noticed yet, that I haven't seen, felt, heard, whatever, that I haven't come across yet. Because it could be that this is just something I've never experienced, so it's very weird to me.
Or even if you have experienced it, we often block our ability to learn more by thinking we already know. The more you know, the more you tend to block yourself.
Yeah, there's always an ego component too, right? Well, I've been riding X number of years, I've trained so many horses. And
especially if you're a professional.
Yeah, I know how this works. Right? And so then sometimes it becomes about defending, I don't know, your status, who you think you are, and that you have to be right? You have to prove that you're correct. And of course, it's very unhealthy, right? And that always leads to fights with the horse. But it's a very human temptation that you trap people falling into.
Right. I think most people fall into that trap at some point or another. I think the key is to be aware of that tendency and to spot it in real time when it's starting to happen, and nip it in the bud. And of course, be direct. And the more you do that, the better you get at doing that, and the quicker you can catch up until pretty soon it's just a little button and redirect, and you don't even change what you're doing.
That the danger, of going down that road, I think, is greatest if you only know one way of doing something. That if your belief system says there is only one correct way of doing whatever it is you want to do, everything else is wrong, then you do the one thing and it's not working. And then what are you going to do with everything else that's forbidden by the ideology or by the teaching? Then you'll apply it, you will force more strength, more repetitions, and it's a downward spiral. I think it's worse and worse. And